Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Kamen 64. How you guys doing today? And I'm back with another video. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the latest reveal of the new Kamen Rider series, upcoming Kamen Rider series coming up. Kamen Rider Z, Kamen Rider Zeztz. I can't pronounce the name right, so I'll call it Kamen Rider Zeztz. So yeah, so yesterday they just revealed the new look of the new rider of the new series. The suit looks pretty badass, pretty sick, and they have the transformation driver or belt. It's not gonna call it a belt because it's pretty much on his chest. It's pretty much like it's pretty much well, his driver. Yeah, all Kamen Riders that are Haitian devices are basically drivers. Basically, yeah, they always have a belt to transform, but sometimes not. It's not always like some kind of belt. Sometimes it could be like some kind of device or something. Like Ryuki has that deck thingy. You know, the Ryuki riders have the decks. The Kabuto riders they have the sectors, and some and other riders, and later on vice versa. So I guess it's mostly called a driver most of the time. Yeah, yeah. Even though we do see majority of most of them the drivers like go on their belts basically. But it's still a driver. But anyways, yeah, yesterday they showed off the Kamen Rider. They showed off a trailer which was in full English, and like honestly, it was the trailer stuff was pretty tight, and I did like hearing the English in it. I don't know if it's an English dub or just the whole trailer was just English, but that's something we'll get back to later. I will admit the suit looks pretty cool. And having the driver on his chest like a slash thingy is unique, something different. It seems like this Kamen Rider's doing something different, like Kamen Rider Hibiki. Well, Hibiki's case was kind of different because Hibiki wasn't planned to be a Kamen Rider series. It was planned to be something different, but then Toei decided to make it a Kamen Rider series for branding purposes. So yeah, but nevertheless, it is the second Rider series after Hibiki to do something completely different. I mean, it's still gonna be comrade thing on honestly on like how Hibiki was. Well, I assume it's obviously going to be because the suit looks rather alike and it looks pretty plain maybe a little bit, but it does kind of look like it's one of those old school old writer series. Those suits from the old comrade series like during the Showa era, or you could say early Heisei era, like the beginning of the Heisei era. That's where the suit does feel like it's from, basically. But it does look sick, either way. I kind of, I gotta admit that. Now, also back with the English dub thing, the English thing, as I mentioned earlier, it seems that this series is going to be streamed here legally in the U.S., which is pretty insane. This will be the first Kamen series to ever do that. Because we've never had a Kamen over here in the West. Unlike we had two American adaptations, Master Rider and Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, both of which didn't perform well, unfortunately. Well, Dragon Knight probably could have performed well, but it was a on the block that not many people watched, and CW, which was the block that it wasn't earned on, kept changing its timeline and just didn't its time slot and just didn't really promote the show that well, and the toys came out late, so Dragon Knight just didn't really have a chance, unfortunately. If it was on another block, probably would have done better, but unfortunately, it is what it is. So yeah, so those are pretty much the only sets that we have common over here in the West. Now I guess we have other. There have been other like stuff like I think there are some other toy companies that have brought some action figures over here. I don't forgot the name of it, but yeah. So that's pretty much all of Comrade we had in the West. But now that we're getting, Comrade Zeztz is going to be fully streamed here, released here in the U.S., this really is sick. And pretty much the first. Oh yeah, I also forgot that Shout Factory did release some, did release some Comrade on Blue Home Media, on Blu-ray and DVD But unfortunately, you know, it's not really not many people are aware of that, and it's still kind of niche. So Kamen Rider is still niche over here in America, like all tokusatsu is in general. But Ultraman has pretty much kind of gone out there over the years, so maybe the same thing can happen with Kamen Rider. And with this series being streamed in the U.S., like either in English dub or just subtitles, I think it could probably do well. Well, if we do get an English dub of this, which is one of the things me and a lot of people are wondering, like, are we gonna get like an official English dub of this, or is this gonna be, or is just that English we heard in the trailer was just mainly for the trailer only? That's what I'm wondering. Now, if we do get an English dub, I guess it would be interesting. I mean, I wonder if it's gonna be somewhere in line with all those other English dub of some of the other older Kamen Rider seasons, like Kamen Rider Kabuto and a couple others. Kamen Rider Kabuto Decade, and Fours, and a couple others have actually. You guys may not be aware of, but most of them have English dubs, and most of them don't sound too great. They sound pretty bad, but they're fine for what they are. Some of take it or leave it. Personally, I think adaptations are a much better way to go instead of dubbing the show, because that gives more of a wider audience over here. This is what I think. I don't think a lot of people are down with watching English dubs of tokusatsu shows. That's just what I think. But if it somehow works, then I guess fine. But that's just how I see it. You know. So will Commerce does get an English dub? Who knows? We're not sure. But I do think it will be cool to see. Now, I would be down to see a Zeztz adaptation, maybe American adaptation, which is extremely highly unlikely because I know some of you Kamen fans are probably cringe that. Come on, another American adaptation. Really? Did you saw what happened with Saban's Smash Rider? Yeah, you're right. But I do think we're kind of at this point where we can probably do better. I mean, Dragon Knight was in a step in the right direction when it came to doing the Kamen Rider American adaptation, but Dragon Knight just wasn't treated poorly because of the block it was on. And if we do get a Zeztz adaptation, like if we have it air like on Netflix or any other streaming service, it could probably do extremely well. I know that for sure. Like, get the right people who know how to make a great story, great characters, great plot, and stuff like that. Know how to market it pretty well, and boom, it could definitely do amazing. You just gotta see. But this is just what I think. Now, I know there's probably no need for another Kamen Rider adaptation, but I would like to see one. Like, do I really want to see one? Yeah, I do, but that's just me personally because I was just fun. I was just fond of the whole concept of bringing a Japanese show from America, splicing it with American footage, and once in a while doing your own thing with the footage, it's like with the suits and stuff like that. Power Rangers has done this for years. We don't know if they're gonna do it anymore. I grew up with all these shows: Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Big Bag Beetleborgs, Saban Smash Rider, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. It was like a popular trend back in the '90s, basically, and we got that again in the late 2000s with Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. Aside from Power Rangers, still going on. And as harsh reality, it looks like that we're probably never going to get that again, which kind of sucks. And I'm a little sad about it, but I guess it is what it is. Not everything can last forever. But if by any chance we do go back to having that, I'd be down for that. But yeah, Comrade says, the suit looks cool, his bikes look cool. I heard that from some stuff in the trailer. It's AI, which is pretty bummer. Nowadays, everybody's relying on AI for stuff like. Why don't we just rely on AI for to make fun projects and stuff like that? Not like official media for movies, shows, and trailers, commercials, and all that stuff. Whatever happened to the creativity of people putting hard work in certain stuff? Oh well, those days are long gone, I guess. But yeah, Comrade says, it looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing this series in late 2025. I have been meaning to check out some more Gaff, and I will soon. But yeah, you guys can let me know what you guys think about Comrade says. You like it, and you think it's cool, and you think are we going to get an English dub? And are you looking forward to it when it airs here in the U.S.? I really am. So my next video is going to be about talking about Kamen Rider, why Kamen Rider is probably hard and difficult to adapt here in the West. From some opinions that I think I have. I thought some reasons why Kamen Rider can't work well. It's kind of difficult to adapt on like Super Sentai. And I'll have that video up coming up soon. So you can be on the lookout for that. So yeah, that's it for this video. This is Kamen Rider 64. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and all that jazz. More videos come up in the future. Peace out, guys. Hey, shun!